Good morning. In this section, I will teach wave incident obliquely on a perfect dielectric. When a plane wave is incident obliquely on the perfect dielectric boundary, a part of the wave is transmitted into second medium, a part of the wave is reflected, but in this case the transmitted wave will be refracted. That means the direction of propagation will be changed. This is the dielectric boundary. This boundary separates two dielectric medium. This is medium 1, this is medium 2. In medium 1, mu1, epsilon 1, eta 1 are the properties. In medium 2, mu2, epsilon 2, eta 2 are the properties of second dielectric medium. Here, this is the z-axis. This is the incident wave. When wave is incident on perfect dielectric, a part of it is transmitted into second medium and a part of it is reflected into same medium. But in this case, this transmitted wave undergoes refraction. That means it changes its direction when compared to incident wave. This is the angle of incident theta I. This is angle of reflection theta r. This is angle of transmitted or refracted theta t. When the wave is incident obliquely at an angle theta I with the normal, a part of the wave reflected at an angle theta r in the same medium and a part of it is transmitted or refracted at an angle theta t in the second medium as shown in figure. This is the figure. Here this is the normal to the boundary. Oblique incidence on a perfect dielectric. From Snell's law, sin theta I by sin theta t is equal to V1 by V2. Here angle of incidence, this is angle of refracted. This is velocity of wave in medium 1, velocity of wave in medium 2. These are given by V1 is equal to 1 by square root of mu1 epsilon 1 and V2 is equal to 1 by square root of mu2 epsilon 2. Substitute this in this equation, then sin theta I by sin theta 2 is equal to square root of mu2 epsilon 2 by square root of mu1 epsilon 1. Since permeability of the dielectric do not vary much from that of free space, that means permeability of medium 1 is equal to permeability of medium 2, which is equal to permeability of free space. Now substitute in place of mu2 and mu1 as mu naught, then these two cancel. Therefore, sin theta I by sin theta 2 is equal to square root of epsilon 2 by square root of epsilon 1. This is the Snell's law. The power transmitted per unit area according to Poynting theorem. P, power transmitted per unit area, is equal to E cross H, which is equal to EH into, if we expand cross product, sine of pi by 2. Why pi by 2 means in uniform plane wave electric and magnetic fields are perpendicular to each other, which is equal to simply product of E and H. If we write H in terms of E, which is equal to E by eta, then power transmitted per unit area is equal to E square by eta. This is the incident power Pi. A part of this power is reflected into same medium. This is reflected power. PR. A part of incident power is transmitted into second medium, which is PT. Dielectric, perfect dielectric is lossless medium. Hence, incident power is sum of transmitted and reflected powers. But here, this incident wave makes an angle theta with respect to z axis. Then incident power is given by Pi is equal to Ea square by eta 1 into cos theta I. Similarly, reflected power PR is equal to E r square by eta 1 into cos theta r. Why? This is in medium 1. Transmitted power PT is equal to Et square by eta 2. Why eta 2 means it is second medium, cos theta t. Since there is no loss of power in perfect dielectric, therefore the incident power must be equal to sum of the reflected and transmitted power. So by the conservation of energy, incident power is equal to sum of reflected and transmitted power. Incident power is equal to Ea square by eta 1 into cos theta I, which is equal to Er square by eta 1 into cos theta r plus Et square by eta 2 into cos theta t. There is one law, which is law of reflection. According to law of reflection, the angle of incident is equal to angle of reflection. That means theta I is equal to theta r. Therefore, in place of theta r substitute theta I. Then this equation becomes this one. Now take this to this side and take this to this side. Then this becomes minus and this is equal to equal. Now cos theta I by eta 1 is common. Take it as common. Cos theta I by eta 1 into Ea square minus Er square, which is equal to Et square by eta 2 into cos theta t. Divide this equation by Ea square on both sides. Then this becomes 1 minus Er square by Ea square. On the other side 1 by eta 2 Et square by Ea square into cos theta t. Now take this term to other side. Then this becomes 1 minus Er square by Ea square is equal to eta 1 by eta 2 Et square by Ea square into cos theta t by cos theta I. Now take this to this side and this to this side. Then this equation becomes this one. Er square by Ea square is equal to 1 minus eta 1 by eta 2 Et square by Ea square cos theta t by cos theta I. Already we know intrinsic impedance eta 1 is equal to square root of mu1 by epsilon 1 in medium 1 and eta 2 is equal to square root of mu2 by epsilon 2 in medium 2. We know that permeability does not change from that of free space, hence mu1 mu2 is equal to mu 0. Then substitute in this, then this equation becomes this one. Now substitute these values in this equation, then this equation becomes this one. Er square by Ea square is equal to 1 minus square root of epsilon 2 by square root of epsilon 1 Et square by Ea square cos theta t by cos theta I. Take it as equation 1.